Welcome back, everybody, on this Thursday morning edition of Hot Mike. You're looking at the boys basketball bracket for the 2A tournament, which tips off in just a few hours. You'll see it live right here on WDAY Extra. Later tonight, Century and Horace in the final game. We previewed that West Fargo Legacy game yesterday. Cheyenne and Dickinson will play at 4, but the first game right out of the chute, the number 1 seed out of the West is Bismarck. The 4 seed out of the East are the Davies Eagles. That'll get things going this afternoon at 2 o'clock inside the Event Center in Bismarck. It's time for our yearly visit with our next guest, the head coach of the Bismarck Demons. Mr. Jordan Wilhelm joins us after an emphatic win on Saturday in the WDA Championship. I believe he told me the boys are eating breakfast this morning. We do this every year, my man. How's it going?
It's going well, man. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so here we are again. It's back at state. Tell me about this year's team and expectations for this year.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride so far. Just a really strong senior class. Bunch of guys that get it, that want to compete, that show up at practice every day, ready to work. So honestly, as a coach, that's all you can ask from your guys. So coming into the year, we knew we were going to have a talented roster, but you always wonder, are you going to be able to defend at the level you want and rebound at the level you want? And our guys have shown up, with their work hats on.
People are going to see what happened on Saturday and say, "Holy cow!" Talk about descending at the right time. You feel that your team is playing your best ball right now?
Yeah, I definitely do. We played extremely well on Saturday. We came out and shot it well early and really did a nice job at the top of our press and making Century uncomfortable. Obviously, we got to try and replicate that this weekend. So at practice, that was the message, that we're not done.
So to have the kind of year you guys have had, I mean, obviously you knew expectations are going high. You knew you had a talented team. To perform this way is another thing. When did you get a sense like, all right, we're playing like I think we can play?
It's a process. Early in the season, we were scoring a lot of points. I didn't think we were doing as good a job defensively as I knew that we were capable of. So it's just making sure we hold our guys accountable and that they're coming ready to work in practice. And I think about mid-season when you start to look across and see the scores that we have and our guys on any given night, it didn't take any extra motivation. That it didn't matter. When we tipped, I knew that our guys were going to be ready to go and they're going to get after it. And when we compete at the level that we have over the last 6 weeks, you feel like you're going to have a shot most nights.
I'm looking already here. This is not surprising anybody who watches your team. I think you've had over 100 points at 5 or 6 times. You've won in the 90s. I mean, I know you like to get up and go. Is this even beyond what you thought was capable of how you can get up and down the floor?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like I said, we have a talented group, but being able to make sure that they understand the importance of sharing the basketball. And when we have 4 or 5 guys in double figures, it makes us that much more difficult to defend. And the terms we're using this year are things like sacrifice, because all of our guys are sacrificing shots for one another. And when you get a group that's bought in together and sacrificing and doing all those things, you can have some of those special nights offensively.
You know full well the challenge that awaits you now with state, and I'm going to talk about Davies here in a second. Just this first game, first one out of the chute. You like that? Not a big deal at all. You're playing the first game at 2 o'clock today.
I'm excited to get it going, rather than sit around all day and wait for it. We played the early game last week in the West Region tournament, so our guys can gear it up at that time. And I think you have a little bit of a chance to send a message in that first game that we're here to stay and we're going to get after it, and all the other teams are sitting there watching you play. So, I mean, I could have flipped it either way if it were the 8 o'clock game too, but I think our guys are going to be ready to play whenever it is.
So I had Jason Horner on yesterday from Legacy. He told me that last week is the hardest weekend, just to get to 2 wins. When you got your second, I'll ask you, when you knew you were into state, did you all right, you were allowed to have a deep breath that you knew you were in the state tournament this weekend?
There's no doubt that when you go into that West Region tournament, your goal is to get in, right?
Right.
The ultimate prize and the ultimate goal is to win on Saturday night at state. So you want to get in and give yourself an opportunity. But, the last time we were in the semifinals of the state tournament was the year that we won the West Region. So we wanted to go in, with all things moving forward and playing our best basketball. So, our goal was obviously to play on Saturday night and win on Saturday night at state. But still, it's just let's just keep playing our best basketball, keep moving forward, and see where we end up.
I texted you over the summer about Kalik Austin. He got his first offer after his freshman year. Tell me about where his game is at. And for people on this side of the state, Jordan, that haven't seen your team play, how he stands out on the floor.
Man, he is as special, if not the most special kid I've seen at this age in the West region in a long time.
Okay.
Like, his ability to defend the basketball, to rebound on both ends, and he'll grab a defensive rebound and go coast to coast. Just when he's downhill coming at you, he is very scary. And then on top of that, he's hit 63s this year and he's shooting 42% from three.
Okay.
So like a kid that can just make plays in multiple ways. He's a true 3-level scorer. And at his age, a kid who just turned 16 about a month and a half ago. All signs pointing up. And even last year at the state tournament had really valuable experience for us, had a huge game in the state consolation game last year, playing with his brother last year, and he was an all-conference kid as a freshman. Very, very talented kid that we're excited about moving forward.
What's the ceiling here? Do we even know yet?
As far as
Kalik for him, do we even know what that could be yet, or is that still untapped of how good he can get? Yeah.
Oh man, when you can shoot the basketball like that, and you have the kind of length that he has, and the thing that he can do is he's so good on the basketball and away from the basketball, and I think that's truly what sets him apart. Is a lot of guys, they can really score it, right, or they can really shoot it. Like, he can score at every level. He can defend any position. A lot of nights we're asking him to guard the best player on the other team as a 16-year-old sophomore. Like last weekend, he got the matchup of guarding Gibson Kinnerbrew. The night before, he got the matchup of guarding Johnny Rubidoux. He's going to end up on Colin Williams a whole lot today. Like, I think that's really what sets him apart. So, and he's such a strong kid. Like, he's still going to mature and get stronger and get more athletic. I think the sky's the limit for that kid.
All right, so let's talk about, Bart's team. You know what's going to happen here with Davies. It seems like almost every year you guys play Davies, but describe this matchup. Describe this matchup you have with the Eagles coming up today.
They're just a well-coached team. I mean, they are every year. There's a reason that they're in the state tournament and generally in the semifinals every year, and they're always talented. And Colin Williams is a load inside. Yeah. I mean, the things he can do around the basket and how the motor that he has, it presents a tremendous problem for us. So, we're going to have to make sure that we're physical with him and doing the job on Williams. And then you add Ranky around him and the Vetter kid and the Lawrence twins. And there's just a lot of guys in that team that can make plays off the bounce, a lot of guys that can really shoot it at a high clip. And the thing about Davies is they're going to make you work in the half court on both ends. And that's one thing that, we've seen this year, but that's what they're going to do. I'm sure they're going to try and make it a half-court game, and they play strong, physical half-court defense, and they want to run really nice stuff on the offensive side. So the thing that our team has proven this year, though, is we can score in the half-court, we can defend in the half-court. We've won games in the 60s, and we've won games like out in Dickinson where it was 119-97. So my hope is that this year or today, whatever the game leads to, I feel like we can win in a variety of ways. But I think you're going to see a battle at 2 o'clock.
All right, as a coach, you prefer that 75 to 67 kind of game, or is 120 to 107 you prefer?
I'm okay with whatever as long as it ends with the W call at the end.
I knew you were going to say that.
Like, if he wants to push it and play fast, we're okay doing that too. But if he wants to slow it down, I feel like we have the guys that can handle that sort of situation too. So, honestly, at this time of year, it's like all year long you're talking in a win, no matter what the score is. You don't care. Are we getting better? Then the scores don't matter. This time of year right now, none of that stuff matters anymore. It's all about getting wins. So hopefully we can find a way to get it done either way.
I only bring that up. The Timberwolves gave up 153. I don't know if you saw that last night. So I don't know if you have that in store for us today, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, or Bam Adebayo getting 82 the other night.
Right,
51 game against the Wizards.
So, on the outside, it seemed the WDA was just loaded this year. I think everybody knew, obviously, Century's the reigning champs. Your team was really good. Obviously, the Legacy had a really good player and really good team. Did that play out? You were in it all year. The WDA, was it stronger than most years, or is this just, hey, it's another year, we have really good teams out here?
Full transparency, I was a little bit surprised by the scores of the West Region tournament last week. Like, the West Region tournament is generally a super competitive tournament where everything goes down to the wire, and there were a lot of lopsided scores. That did surprise me a little bit because especially when you look the last couple of weeks of the season, the league was really tightening up and scores were really starting to get closer. So I thought there were going to be some grinders in that tournament last weekend, and it ended up not being that way. But I definitely feel like, the 4 teams that got in are all very capable of winning games at the state tournament. All 4 teams can score the basketball and defend, very well coached. So I'm not surprised by the 4 teams that got in, but was a little surprised by the scores last weekend.
All right, so you're having breakfast this morning. What's on the menu? Do you have something you have to have on game day? Are you that strict or no?
Well, I've been saying I'm not a very superstitious person, but we are back at Denny's where we ate at Saturday before the Century game, and I did get the same thing that I got on Saturday when we played Century. So maybe I am a little more superstitious than I lead on.
What'd you have?
Some sort of salted caramel pancake, something or another. I don't know. You got it. When you go to Denny's, they always have those fun limited time menus, so you got to try and venture out a little bit once in a while.
I know how much of a golf rube you are, so the Players' Championship is starting today. If you had a bucket of balls at the 17th at Sawgrass, how many could you get on the green?
A full bucket. What are we saying in a bucket?
Okay,
50?
40 balls.
39 of them, especially today. We're on it. Let's go.
You're locked in today. That's what I like to hear.
That's right, man.
Oh, man. All right, last thing before I let you go, because you are, I always trust you on this for evaluator of talent. Where are we at statewide with boys basketball in North Dakota? I mean, we watched Grant Nelson. You and I were talking about him a few years ago. He's playing in the NBA last week with the Brooklyn Nets. Are we still elevating in terms of where the players at the high school level are just keep getting better, in your opinion?
There's no doubt. I mean, I think the biggest thing that you're seeing right now is our kids, not only are they skilled, but they're big and they're strong and they're athletic. The thing that I've used in a couple different interviews is like if you took Artie Carla from my team and you dropped him into practice in 2007, our guys would think he's a wizard because he can do things with the basketball that weren't even invented when I was playing high school basketball 150 years ago. So, like, I just think, the shot-making ability and how many of these guys can score at multiple levels and how they can shoot it from deeper and deeper. Like, I think in our first round last week, Kalik Austin made his first one from 19.9, his second one from 23.9, and his fourth one from about 27.9. So it's just like the time these guys put in, the hours they put in, the late nights they put in, the film, when I watch these guys watching film, like how committed they are to watching film from other teams and getting better and trying to find an edge. I think it's only getting better and better as the years go. And you're seeing that with the success that these guys are having at the college level, like with the Eagle staff at West Virginia, like you said, with Grant Nelson playing in the NBA now. And I think Kalik Austin is the next up that's going to be getting some big-time looks and big-time offers because these schools are going to start coming when they see what he's capable of.
All right. There it is. There's the tease. If that's not a tease to watch later today, I don't know what is. All right, very last thing. So I went back in the archive. The first year we were televising, you were wearing a full suit. Can we guarantee that today? Are you dressed up today, or are you wearing the quarter zip like everybody else?
I held on to the suit as long as I could. I said when I played out at Marion my last couple of years, when Randall Herbst would come in with the suit, that I'm going to be a suit guy someday. My staff fought me on it every single year, and I said, I don't care. We're wearing suits. And then after 2020 hit, when COVID, it's like every single coach across the nation gave up their suit game. And I felt like I was the last one hanging on. I didn't want to make it about me, where it's like, oh, look at Wilhelm wearing suits. So I ended up just kind of going with the norm because it's not about the weird-looking coach with the suit in the sideline. It's about the guys in the court. So we will not be wearing suits. We'll have cues that sound like everybody else.
Well, and you know what? Bart's not wearing a suit anymore either, which I couldn't believe.
I know.
So that I knew was over.
We were the last guys hanging on.
I know it. So if he's not doing it, then you're in the clear on that.
Yeah, don't mention it to my in-laws. They tease me every game about it. They're not real happy about it. They think I should be wearing.
Hey man, you were looking good out there. I'm just going to tell you. So thanks for the time, bud. I appreciate it. And good luck today. We'll talk soon. Okay.
All right, Dom. Thanks for having me on.
There he goes. Jordan Wilhelm joining us from Bismarck as the Demons get set for their matchup coming up later today against Fargo Davies. You saw the bracket there. Ben, if we could bring it up real quick before we go to break. Bismarck and Davies is the first matchup. That comes up at 2 o'clock. You'll see that here on Extra. Then Cheyenne and Dickinson. Then West Fargo and Legacy, followed by Century and Horace to round out the day. Just looking back at this, now Bismarck has got, I would say, right next to Minot is the greatest history of boys basketball in our state. They have been to the state tournament 74 times. 74 counting this year. Here's the crazy stat. They haven't won this thing since 2010. That was here at the Fargo Dome when they last won a state basketball championship, which I don't think anybody out there needs any reminders. They've had some really talented teams, and they have matched up. Sometimes they just got a bad matchup. I can't even and he was chuckling when I mentioned they're playing Davies. They played Davies last year in the first round. They have it again this year. Sometimes those conference tournaments just screw up the seeding enough that maybe it prevents us from having the best matchup in the championship game. Because let's say like Horace got knocked off in the semifinal round, so preventing them from being the 1 or the 2. So now Horace is a 3 seed, right? That's how Davies slips to the 4 line. Davies, in no circumstances, the 4th best team in my mind in the EDC. But that's what ended up happening. Cheyenne, by virtue of beating Horace, then they move up to the 2 spot. And it maybe messes up the bracket. That's another discussion for another day. But that's how you end up having sometimes your best matchup maybe happening on Thursday and not on Saturday, where the Class A and the B, where they've now started seeding all 8, we avoid that. That's, like I said, a discussion for another time, but maybe prevents a team from, if you have a really tough matchup on Thursday, that of having a run. We'll see. Bismarck's team is really talented, and they've got a great chance to maybe win this whole thing. We'll find out. Ball begins at 2 o'clock coming up later today. All right, we'll go to break. We come back. If you missed any of the games last night at Concordia, boy, you missed out, especially the late game between Staples and Osakis. We'll wrap up hour 1 of Hot Mic right after this.